Hi guys, I'm back. I'm feeling a lot better, but if you guys could just stick around to the end of this match, there's a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. But anyways, my birthday passed recently, and I went to Shane's and I was like, Shane's, all I want for my birthday is to use Blaziken and OU. Is this too much to ask for? And he was like, no, just make a team and we'll play sometime. And this is what we got going on. So, obvious Weather War, the classic Weather War, Rain versus Sun. And this team is based around Blaziken, like I said before. And just kind of looking at his team real quick, Salamence can definitely be a threat because I don't have any Steel types on this team. And Gyarados could be a problem should I lose my Venusaur, but hopefully I'll be able to keep that around long enough to take on that Gyarados, because that actually is the one Pokemon on his team that can ultimately stop my my Blaziken. But anyways, let's just jump right in here. He's gonna lead out with Salamence. I'm gonna lead out with my Donphan, and figuring he's some kind of physical variant, I'm gonna stay in here and just get up my rocks because half of his team is weak to rocks. As he does end up going for the Dragon Balls here, which I did not see coming, and from this damage here, he is clearly Choice Specs. Again, that really caught me off guard, but it's not such a bad idea. I mean, Spec Salamence, you rarely see that. I think that'd be something fun to run. But anyways, let's get back into the match here. I'm going to switch out into my Ninetales here, figuring because switching is based off of base speeds of the Pokemon in play, since Salamence is faster than Donphan, I should be able to get up my Sun should he choose to go into Politoed overall. So I figured this would just be the best opportunity for me to bring in Ninetales. But he ends up going into his Donphan, and I figured he would more than likely just want to spin away the rocks, but just in case he does want to go for an Earthquake at this time, I obviously don't want my Ninetales taking one of those because I need to win this Weather War. So I'm going to switch out into my Mew, as he does just end up going for the safe Rapid Spin there. And let's talk about this Mew. This is a Baton Pass Mew with Rock Polish and Workup, specifically designed to pass those out into my Blaziken or my Venusaur or even my Ninetales if I really wanted to. Overall, this Mew is just, it works so well with this team. So he is going to bring in his Politoed here, as I'm just going to go for a Rock Polish. Again, like I was saying before, anything on this team will really appreciate the boost that this Mew can supply to it. So I am just going to go for the Baton Pass here. I am going to Baton Pass out into my Ninetales here to get the Sun back up. And not only that, but just kind of figure out what kind of Politoed he is as well. And as we're going to see right here, he does end up going for the Encore, so it was a really good play, I guess, on my part, even though I really did not predict that, I'll be honest. Into my Ninetales, but he's gonna go out into his Salamence here, knowing he walls me completely. I just went for the Will-O-Wisp here. I was honestly hoping that he would stay in with his Politoed, maybe show Ice Beam or something like that, but he doesn't. He switches out into his Salamence, and I'm just gonna get the burn off of that, which isn't really gonna matter because he is specially based. But here I am gonna fodder off my Donphan just to see what he wants to lock himself into. As he does end up going for the Draco here, I'm obviously not gonna be able to take that. And down goes my Donphan, so I gotta make sure that he doesn't get up his rocks now. But I am gonna go out into my Venusaur here, and I figured I would be able to take a Draco relatively well and go for the growth here, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. But as you're about to see, I am not gonna take this Draco well at all. You know, because of the mechanics of Choice Specs and whatnot, this is technically like a -1 Draco. And that does a lot more than I was hoping it to do. I am more offensive, and I believe I am the defense downing nature on this Venusaur. But again, we were both just shocked by how much damage that did. But he is going to leave in his Salamence here as fodder because nothing on his team will really appreciate coming in on one of Venusaur's attacks, especially at +2 because I am max special attack. And here, he does make a rather odd switch in. He does switch in his Donphan here. Obviously, Giga Drain is going to take it down to sturdy range. I really don't know why he brought it in here. So I will be able to go for Giga Drain, get all my HP back, but none of that's about to matter in a second because Shane's is going to end up going for the Earthquake here this turn, and he is going to end up scoring a crit. Now, we talked about this crit right here. It turns out that his Donphan is max HP, max attack, so we figured in combination with me being defense downing, and just the fact that he does carry Ice Shard, we figured that crit wouldn't matter because next turn he would have been able to finish me off with an Ice Shard, so that's what we came to. But here, I am going to go into my Blaziken. I do carry Vacuum Wave on this. I did want some kind of form of priority on it just in case it did come down to one of those situations. But he is just going to end up going out into his Politoed here to sponge the Vacuum Wave that is coming his way. And I'm kind of a little disappointed. I thought this would do a little bit more because I think I'm more specially invested than I am physically. And Blaziken's special attack isn't too shabby. I think it's like base 110? Something along those lines. But anyways, I'm going to switch out here. Don't want to take a water move. I'm going to go into my Ninetales here as to get the sun up. And also, you know, I am specially defensive. I should be able to take a water move relatively well. But he ends up going for the Hydro Pump. He ends up missing. We talked about that too. We're not entirely sure how much that did matter in the end of the battle. Because as you're going to see this turn, his Hydro Pump will connect. But before all of that, I'm going to go for an Energy Ball and land a critical hit, which is definitely a nice thing. Definitely going to help wear down this Politoed. And here comes that Hydro Pump that I was talking about before. As you can see, it does around 30%, 35% around there. So we're not entirely sure how much the first miss mattered. But here, he is going to fear the second Energy Ball killing him. So he is going to switch out as well as I am. I was figuring he would most likely just want to switch out, so I figured I would go into my Mew. It'd be the most appropriate thing to take on whatever he wants to send in. If I can set up on it, great. If I can't, then I can go on the offense, because I do carry Psychic on this Mew, because when I was testing this team, it just taunt would shut this thing down, and it just got so annoying. But he does end up bringing in his Thundurus here, as he is going to go for the Volt Switch, because I am max HP and I'm a Mew. I will be able to take that really well, as he does end up Volt Switching out into his Gyarados. And at this point, I realized I lost my Venusaur, which means I don't really have a solid answer for this Gyarados anymore. So I figured at this point in time, the best thing I did have for this thing would be my Mew, because like I said, I do carry Psychic on it, and because I am Work Up, I can actually boost my own special attack, which is really nice. So this Mew can, like I said before, go on the offense if it's really needed. But his Gyarados is going to go for the substitute here, which is going to be a little annoying, so I'm thinking right now he's probably most likely some kind of substitute Dragon Dancing variant, which is what most Gyaradoses tend to be. So here, I am just going to go for the Psychic to break his sub. And the nice thing here is that this Mew is timid, max speed, max HP. So even if his Gyarados is jolly, he needs at least 3 Dragon Dances before he can outpace me, but I don't know. Personally, I felt like he could have played his Gyarados a little better. He definitely could have withered down this Mew, because as you're going to see, this thing will be helping me in my end streak to victory. But I am going to go for another Psychic here, just to kind of judge how much this is doing. I figured he'd be a more bulky variant of Gyarados, and that's one Psychic does quite a bit. It's actually kind of surprising how much that Psychic does. I'll leave a damage calc somewhere on your screen around here, showing you how much it does to his Gyarados spread. But, I figured from here, a second Psychic should more than likely be able to take this thing out, and I can't really screw around with this thing. This thing is a big threat. So, rules of big threat, take him out or phase him out. We're going to take those things out with Psychic right now. So, the nice thing here, though, is that whatever he wants to switch into, I can Baton Pass and work around it. So, he is going to choose to go out into his Ferrothorn here. I'm going to Baton Pass, and keep in mind, I still have +2 in speed, +1 in special attack, and neutral attack, because he did get an Intimidate off on my Mew. So I am going to pass that out right into my Blaziken, the big threat, as he's just going to go for the Leech Seed here, which is kind of annoying just because in combination with Life Orb and Leech Seed damage, this Blaziken's going to be, you know, withered down a lot more than what I would like it to be. And here, I did just go for a Fire Blast. I do have High Jump Kick, but my luck with High Jump Kick is ridiculous, and I did not feel like hitting myself in the face, you know. So, I'm going to go for a Fire Blast here, and it does quite a bit to this Politoed. I believe he's max special attack, max HP, he said. And, again, you know, obviously because of the rain, but I'm still disappointed by how much the special damage is doing by my Blaziken. But, I was thinking about staying in here and going for a Vacuum Wave to finish him off, but at that range, I was very skeptical whether it would or wouldn't, so I am just going to go out into my Ninetales, knowing that I can sponge a Hydro Pump. Not only that, but I can get the sun back up and just be a nuisance. But he does make a rather odd switch here. He switches out into his Ferrothorn. I don't know as to why. I don't know what he was predicting there. And yet again this turn, he makes another over-prediction. He predicted me to go into my Zatsu, he told me. I have no reason as to why. I am a Ninetales in the sun, you're a Ferrothorn. You're gonna get roasted either way. So I'm just gonna go for the Flamethrower here, as I do end up getting the burn. Don't really think it mattered that much in the long run, as we're gonna see. But here, he is gonna go for a Volt Switch, and this Volt Switch does almost nothing, which... or well, it does less than we thought it would do. Just Ninetales, too bulky. But he's gonna go out into his Politoed here. And I believe I just went for another safe flamethrower because I'm not in a position right now to start over predicting, as I do just end up going for the flamethrower here. And we both kind of laughed at this. I get 2 consecutive burns in a row, like 10%. Like, what are the odds? Seriously. No, seriously, what are the odds? Someone post them in the comments. But anyways, he brings out his Politoed. That burn's definitely gonna matter because it's gonna nullify his leftovers, and not only that, but it's gonna give the little extra damage to where I feel comfortable staying in, going for an energy ball to potentially finish it off. But he predicts that he's gonna go out into his Ferrothorn. And it's kind of at this point where Shanes is really backed into a corner. He could bring in his Donphan for fodder at any time, but even then it's still going to die off. And I really have a lot left to handle the remainder of his team, especially Blaziken. Blaziken at this point is looking like it's going to be my, my clutch in this situation. But here, like I said, I still don't want him getting up rocks, so I'm going to go out and risk it! And I'm just going to bounce back the Leech Seed. In all honesty, I was expecting the Stealth Rocks, but I am going to go for the U-turn here, knowing it is my safest play. If he wants to switch out, I get switch-in-ish. If he wants to stay in, I can go right back into Ninetales, and I can get it in before rocks. So I will have the safest opportunity there to get in my Ninetales, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm going to bring in my Ninetales, as I believe he just ends up going for a Gyro Ball this turn, just trying to do some damage to me. I'm not sure. Maybe he should have... I don't know. I feel like double Leech Seeding would have been the better play there. And my Vegas track is freezing. This is kind of annoying. I have no idea what's going on. Oh my god, please, please. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, I am just going to end up going for a Flamethrower here. Easily be able to take out that for Ferrothorn in the sun, plus stab, plus flamethrower, just 4 times weak, You know how it ends up, guys. But, here, it's kind of, he's in a checkmate position, ultimately. All he's got left is a Donphan holding on by sturdy range. He's got this Politoed left that's burning at a very low amount of health, and he's also got his Scarf Thunderous left. But, here, I really just wanted to ultimately set up to sweep with my Ninetales. My Blaziken, wow. So I am going to go out into my Xatus because I do need a safe switch into my Ninetales. Because I do need my Mew, my Blaziken, and my Ninetales still left to win this battle. So bye-bye risk it. And now I believe I'm just going to go back out into my Ninetales to set up the sun once again. Because the only way he can bring this Politoed back in would be to fodder off his Donphan. So that way he gets the safe switch in, because if he just switches in, it doesn't really matter what I go for, Flamethrower in the rain, or just for that matter a energy ball, he'll die upon the burn damage. So knowing he's most likely going to do that, I am going to bring in my Mew, knowing this is my best time to set up with my Mew in order to sweep the last of his team with Blaziken, because we could have won this match with Ninetales, I honestly could have, but I want Blaziken. I mean, he is my favorite poke, and it's my birthday, so it had to be done. It had to be done. So I'm going to go for Rock Polish here because I do need this up in order to outspeed his Scarf Landorus, as he is just going to fire off an Earthquake here. And still, I'm surprised by Mew's bulk, but either way, I am just going to go for a Psychic here because I can't Baton Pass out because an Earthquake will be more than enough to finish off my Blaziken, because I think I'm also the defense downing nature on that one too. So I'm forced to go for a Psychic here just to finish off his Donphan. And here, he is going to bring in his Politoed. And in the call, I was like, okay, Shanes, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to Baton Pass out into my Blaziken. You're going to miss a Hydro Pump, and my Blaziken's going to sweep you. And he said, no, that's not what's going to happen. So I go for the Baton Pass here, and I go out into my Blaziken. But just as add insult to injury, he ends up misclicking HP Grass, and oh my, he was so mad. But I don't think it really mattered, to be honest. I still had Mew at a really good amount of HP. Had I just got up 1 Rock Polish with that thing, it would have been game from there. But in the end, I do get my Blaziken mini sweep going on here, even though it's only like 2 pokes. I don't know if that counts, but it's gonna happen. Because Politoed's going to go down to a Vacuum Wave, and all he's got is this thing left, and that is easily going to die to a Shadow Claw. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Blaziken in OU. I must say, I had a lot of fun with this match. I always have a lot of fun whenever I play Shanes, because we never really play like very seriously against one another. We're just kind of like, hey, let's bring stuff, let's make a few good predictions, and let's call it a match. So thanks, Shanes. I had a lot of fun. And for that one guy who is going to say, Blaziken is Ubers, it's a Blaziken, come on. But anyways, the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, I don't have a lot of time in my life right now, just the way things are going between school and work and a couple other things. I don't have the time for YouTube and Pokemon as much as I did before. Now I'm not saying I'm quitting. I just don't expect me to upload as frequently. I guess a good comparison is I'm gonna be like a Tony Flygon uploader from here on out until I get some more free time. I still do like this game. I'll still play, but I need time for other stuff because real life is above Pokemon, and that's how I feel like it's always should and has been for me. But I think that's all, guys. Yeah, I'm back basically. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys missed any of the guest narrations, I guess I'll leave links in the description. I had a bunch of my friends do them. But that is all for me. So until next time, guys, later.